This is the first video in a series of videos where I'm going to show you how to do stereoscopic images and videos from easy to hard. The easiest way I'm going to show you first is the Astronaut two-step. It was so easy. They did it on the moon in the Apollo mission. They only had monoscopic cameras and video recorders, so they literally stepped left and right while taking pictures so that they had left eye, right eye pictures that engineers could look at, put together, and have a stereo view of what the astronauts were seeing. Here we are in Virt-A-Mate with the scene by Arc121, Arc1F1 of Olivia McAllister. And I'm not going to do a VAM tutorial, but there's a couple things we need to take note of. First off, we are doing the Astronaut two-step, which means taking two pictures, taking a picture, moving, taking a picture, taking a picture, moving, taking a picture, etc. The issue with that is since we're taking two pictures, anything that's moving in between will look different in one eye than the other. And obviously we can see that it's snowing. So we need to stop the snow, which luckily has VAM. VAM has time controls, and we can take it all the way to 0.1, but it won't stop the snow. It's still snowing. If I moved fast enough, we could have the snow barely move, and that would be okay, but this would be okay, but in between here, I have to take screenshots. A little bit trickier to do fast. There's a way around it, but that's going to be later, maybe. So we'll just put it back to 1. Why not? So the other thing we can do, which is just basically to get rid of the snow. So that's what we'll do. We'll go into edit mode. We'll click select. We'll bring up the custom Unity asset, control, and turn it off. So now, no snow. And that's actually okay because when we look at this in headset, everything will be black. The black on black background will make her stick out and pop, which is nice. Back to play mode, shrink this down. Okay, great. The other thing we need to notice is, again, there's depth of field, so when you move in close, it blurs. Her eyes are following us. We aren't going to move enough that you could really tell, but it's probably a good idea to get rid of that eye motion. So we will go back into edit mode, click the person, and this is Olivia. We'll go to controls. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, auto behaviors. Eye control. Eyes look at. None. So now the eyes are facing forward the way they were and no longer moving. Good enough. If we wanted to change the position where her eyes were, we can do something like that. Turn it off. And now her eyes are glancing to the side, which we're going to do that. We're going to use a little bit of side glance. As if she's looking at something else and thinking. So we're going to do that. Let's frame it the way we want. So we're just going to take just an ordinary screenshot, move, take another screenshot. A bit of movement control for VAM. If you click shift and then middle mouse button, it's moving left and right only. if you click Shift and right mouse button, it's rotating around the target. So it's a good way we can control the framing. Same thing with Alt for rotating that way, and well, that's just normal. So let's rotate up a little bit. Scroll there. Rotate. Let's just rotate up a little bit. We'll take this picture and another picture. I'm moving things around to get as much framed for depth in the scene as possible. There. The chair isn't seen. Nothing's going to get clipped. Just normal stereoscopic stuff. And there's plenty of stuff to look at, plenty of interest and depth and curves. So we're going to take a picture, then we're going to take a picture. So we're just going to use ordinary snipping tool. We're going to go new. As you can see, I took pictures before while testing this out. Now we have a picture. We're going to save this as our left picture. Yep. So that's our new left picture. Shrink that down. And now we need to do the Astronaut two-step. We can either do the mouse control, which is what I'll do, or we'll hit the arrow. I like the mouse control. Since we're using Stereo Photo Maker, we don't have to be precise for how much we're moving. Stereo Photo Maker will align things, but we don't want it to be too much, and we don't want it to be too little. Too little will give us no depth. Too much will give us an alignment problem. But let's see. If we go by the size of her eyes, right, we can go from one eye to the other eye. And I moved, so that just screwed things up. But let's start over because I moved. Anyway, so we're gonna move, let's say, this much to get to the right eye. We'll start here, and we'll say move that much. Basically, move her right eye to where her left eye was. And that should give a good bit of depth. Put her eye in the middle-ish of the screen. Let's do this again. Snipping tool. No. There. Okay. File save as. You might not be able to see this because I'm capturing VAM itself, but you can hear what I'm doing and hear the ding. Overwrite. Now let's move one eye to where the other eye was, ish, there. Snipping tool. New. Capture that. File, save as. Olivia right eye. Override. There we go. So now we have left and right eyes. I'm going to stop here and bring up Stereo Photo Maker. Here we are in the 64-bit Stereo Photo Maker Pro. The Stereo Photo Maker is 32-bit. The 64-bit version will get us much bigger files if we are going to do 4K stuff. But right now, we're just using two 1080p images because it's easy, 1080p-ish. It'll be less when we crop it. But that's plenty for showing you stuff. If you have a 4K monitor, you can do bigger. If you have NVIDIA DSR, you could do even bigger than that, I believe. But we'll start with good old 1080p. First file, we're opening left and right images. And you have to do one at a time. So let's do left eye. and then right eye, and here we are. As you see, snipping tool, we didn't crop or anything in snipping tool because we can do that here better than we could in snipping tool. And so we need to do just that. We can crop. We can do a freeform crop, or we can do a controlled aspect ratio crop. Let's do a controlled aspect ratio crop with edit, crop, edit, crop, free cropping option. And we can say 4:3, 16:9, whatever we want here. Let's do a nice dramatic 16:9. Let's see what that looks like first. 1080p is already 16:9, so we don't have to do too much. We just want to get rid of the stuff at the top and the bottom. And we can move left and right as much as we want, but let's just get rid of the stuff at the top and the bottom. And there we go, it's cropped. And notice Stereo Photo Maker did all of the adjustments. It did both eyes at the same time. The eyes moved around. So this is definitely what you want to use for editing stereo photos. You don't want to do things manually. It'll be a pain in the butt. So let's see what it looks like. If you happen to have 3D Anaglyph glasses, this button right here will tell you what it currently looks like. And as you can see, it's pretty dramatic. Probably too dramatic, in fact. So we're going to edit that. Let's see what Stereo Photo Maker can do with this. Let's start with the automatic adjustment. So if we go adjust, auto alignment, say no, create new report files, there we go. Let's see what we did there. It's still nice and dramatic. Not as dramatic as before, but still dramatic. And it should look nice in 3D. All it did basically was align things up a little bit better left and right. And we can, if we wanted to, just to make things better, we could take another snapshot, move less, or we could have just taken lots and lots of snapshots and saved them and then edited them. But so you see that was pretty quick, but let's just leave it the way it is. If you don't have 3D glasses, which is fine, let's undo. Let's do another way to adjust. Adjustment view. Nah, that's not what I wanted. Adjust easy adjustment. Make that big. And flash. As you can see, that's a lot, right? So we'll do it this way. Alignment. Auto alignment. Now let's flash that. Now you notice that it looks like it's just twisting and not moving a bunch. So let's stick with that. But we can also reduce how much things are. So let's play with it ourselves until we get something that is close to what the automated came up with, but is a little bit more dramatic. We can get away with more drama if you're looking at this in a headset than you can with Anaglyph. There. This is, our brain is picking this up as a twisting motion and not just a shifting motion. You can see it in the knees and in the hips. and that's what you want, that'll do it. Yeah, let's just stick with this. Fine. Fine. And the bottom picture of this is not an anaglyph. Nope. No. But it shows you how it looks combined. So let's flip back to this view. And if you have anaglyph glasses, you can see that it actually looks better in my eyes this way than the adjustment it had before. You'll see some ghosting, but that's fine. That ghosting goes away in headset. The main thing is you don't want it to hurt your eyes when you look at it. So there we go. We have a nice aligned picture. And we'll save image, save stereo image. Cancel. Save stereo image. Yep, there we go. And we want it to be PNG because I like PNGs. We're going to overwrite the one that's already there because we can. There we go. We have a nice saved stereo image, and this is what it finally looks like. Not bad. We can bring up this image in something like DOVR, and you can see it in headset, which you wouldn't be able to see if you don't have a headset. But if you have anaglyph glasses, great. So that's what the Astronaut 2-step looks like when you're creating it. You do 2 pictures in VAM, not a problem. You choose how far left and right you want to go. Doesn't have to be exact. As we could see, I picked something that was a little bit too big, moving the distance between our eyes. But then you bring it into Stereocopic. You can adjust it, see what it looks like, have it do auto alignment or do some manual alignment. If you didn't like what you brought in initially, just go do it again, because all you have to do is open this back up and move things. I'll show you one more version of this since we're here. Notice we could do the twisting. You can also do, let's do this picture again. Snipping tool. A little bit of extra credit. File, save as, except we're going to do it left eye, toe. And now we're going to do it again. So imagine if you cross your eyes inwards, right? You toe in your eyes. If this is the left eye, it's going to be aimed to the right. So if you then move to the right eye, which would be this, and also if you twist it a little bit, you'd get a toe in, something like that. So let's make it even more dramatic toe in. So this would be us being pretty big of a human, with our eyes toeing in around the sides of her body. Left eye seeing one side of her body, right eye toeing in to see the other side of the body. This is a very dramatic level of movement and toe in, but that's okay. There. Now we've got right eye, toe. Let's just see what it looks like if we throw in some manual toe in. Open stereo pair, left image, left eye toe, right image, right eye, toe. And this is the uncropped version, untouched version. But let's, instead of cropping, let's just go ahead and flash this and see what it looks like. It's got a lot more motion. And if you look at the leg, you can see that the angle moved. But let's see what Stereocopic can do with this after we crop it. So let's start with a free crop option. I just used the button that time. And it's doing both eyes at the same time. We're just doing it with a different view of the picture. There. And we move, get her, let's centered-ish. There we go. That's what it looks like side by side. And then our color anaglyph. And let's auto align. Well, let's do color anaglyph so you can see the auto alignment. There it is now. Let's auto align. Poof. Move things slightly differently. Move things together. I always do that. That's the wrong one. We want easy adjustment. And again, let's flash. As you can see, there's a little bit more of the twisting effect, which is telling us that we've got a little bit more dramatic 3D effect going on. Because we have toe end, there's going to be more depth. If you looked at this in headset, or if you have anaglyph glasses like this, you'll see a lot more foreground depth, especially in her leg. Her head is a bit blurry. Should look a little bit better in the headset. But it's an option. You can play around with toe end a little bit. And actually, when I move my head, toe end gives me some more movement in her body than you would get if you didn't use toe end, because of optics. But so there we are. We have a normal left-right astronaut two-step and a left-right astronaut two-step with a little bit of angular change, toe in, for the camera. So basically you're looking around the corner as if you were really close and you're twisted your eyes in a little bit. Toe in you don't want to use much of because it actually hurts your eyes. It causes your eyes to cross in a bit when you're looking at it, but a little touch of it, it's fine. Just don't overdo it. But play around with the astronaut two-step with still images and you're good. Now, the final trick. I'm not going to show you all of it, but the hint is we had VLC. So let's do it. Let's do that final trick. I'm going to cancel. So now we have them. Let's turn snow back on. It's around here somewhere. It's the custom Unity asset. Control on. We should actually reload the scene. But this'll do well enough. The snow will catch up, and we'll have plenty of snow around to play with. And we're going to leave her eyes turned off. So, again, we can't go to 0, but we can slow it down. And now what are we going to do? And so you can see, I think, what we're about to do with the camera panning left to right in this video player. Before, I believe I said we were going to use VLC, Videoland VLC, but that is not the best option. The best option is actually to use Media Player Classic. And what we're going to do is we're going to slow the playback as slow as possible. And the only reason to do that is to get a granular idea of where you want things, and then pause. Just find a spot in the video where the snow's where you want, or whatever, like here. And frame by frame, now you get the trick, is control and left and right arrow in Media Player Classic. So move left, pick your left eye you want. Save image. Astronaut two-step the other eye you want by going frame by frame. Save image. So it's still the astronaut two-step, but now the camera has already been moving for you, and now you're going frame by frame to pick the position. The sweeping astronaut two-step. That's all you have to do. And everything else after that is the exact same. I've already got one saved that I'm going to put together, but that's this. Same as before. You now have two images. You bring into Stereocopic, do the adjustments you want, and you have a side-by-side image. And if you give me a moment, I'm going to grab all three side-by-side images, possibly doing a few edits, and put them on the screen at once.